Some enthusiastic fans at the Shindorin studio today, from what I can tell. Anyway, the map is Korhal Floating Island, spawning in the top left-hand position as the red Zerg from STX Seoul. His name is hyvaa.
His opponent playing for Woongjin Stars as Green Terran. His name is BrAvO, spawning in the bottom right position. So now it's the 11 o'clock, 5 o'clock spawning point. I also want to point out that the enthusiastic fan, he's the only STX Seoul fan it seems like today.
Well, you know what? They need fans, man. STX Seoul has always been known, or unknown, I guess if you want to think about it that way, as a team that there didn't seem to be a lot of team spirit revolving around the team from the fans side.
Yeah, I mean they didn't perform as well. The players are not, they're not interesting, I have to say, because they don't know how to BM except Youngju, not Youngju, Youngdae, the STX Seoul.
One of the newer players from STX Seoul, but I remember I think it was either last week or the week before that, but
last week.
Yeah, we had Team 8 and STX Seoul in the kind of the pregame interviews, and the players from both teams were constantly BMing each other, and I have to admit it was pretty entertaining, man. It was pretty funny.
It seems like hyvaa wants to actually scout around the map before taking the hatchery first. Remember, the two previous TBCs that we saw in Pro League was the 2 racks, both 11-11.
Yeah, that's true. So, of course, hyvaa taking that into account while taking this expansion here. But, as we can clearly see here, BrAvO just going for that standard barracks opening, so he's not going to really have to worry about the 2 racks.
Now, do remember, STX Seoul, yes, players like Innovation play solid games, but we've been seeing a lot more wins when they try to cheese their opponent. Remember, I think it was Trap going for the 2-gate on this map against Jaedong. And
that was awesome, man.
And I do remember, I think it was STX Seoul who actually went for the 2 racks build on one of the maps a few days ago.
Yep, they did. All right, so this SCV here from BrAvO, gonna scout that natural location. Doesn't see anything, but at the same time, BrAvO grabbing his natural expansion, and the Overlord spots it immediately. And now hyvaa pretty much completely in the know at this point. He's got everything mapped out in his head of what his opponent can and can't do at this point in the game.
Yeah, he could just drone up heavily at this point while making only a few Zerglings. He did take a little bit unsafe natural, but that also means that once he actually takes down the rock towards the top side, he could just take over the left side completely and expand in those locations.
Yeah. Another really cool thing I want to point out about this map here is that it's pretty much mirrored from these locations here, so you can expand to the left or right of your base, and honestly, from a balance point, doesn't really make a big difference.
Well, it's a little different, I have to say, because of the third location that you could spawn in the
yeah, that's true.
The 1 o'clock and the 7 o'clock, because there's that little area that some Protoss players might benefit if they go for that for the fourth base. They could fortify it easily compared to expanding towards the left if you spawn in the left top position.
Yeah, I guess what I wanted to really say is that we've seen players expand to both sides in different matchups, so we haven't found really too much of an advantage from one side over the other.
Not just yet.
Yeah, not just yet. Maybe if this map is in the map pool for a long time, players will figure things like that out, but I actually hope it's in the map pool for a long time.
I see it staying in the map pool for a long time.
It's looking pretty balanced so far. It's going to be constantly refreshed by 2 alternative spawning locations. And then when you have these wonky ones, even the normal ones, you can still kind of pick and choose where you want to put your expansions. It just allows the players to really have a lot of options and choices. And you know what? Everybody likes a lot of options and choices.
Yeah, and also adds a variety of build orders into this game.
Yeah, definitely. That's actually a really good point as well. Now, this factory looks like it's going to go ahead and exchange the add-on with that barracks there. Probably going to see a couple of Hellions come out of BrAvO here, and yes, there they go. No third command center just yet from BrAvO. He's opting instead to get 2 barracks there, so playing a little bit less greedy than we've seen a lot of Terrans play against Zerg recently. And from the Zerg side, just getting a 3rd hatchery now at the normal natural location, and continuing the drone up while getting that Zergling speed.
Yeah, but he knows that there's not going to be any heavy pressure from his opponent just yet. Maybe 2 Hellions out at this point. Not gonna be as dreadful for Zerg players. So all he has to do is get the Queens out, make few Zerglings, and use the rest of the larva on the drones right now, and he's going to have the full base economy pretty soon. So it really depends on BrAvO when he takes the third base and when he decides to push out on the map and trying to drop at multiple locations on this map. Because remember, if the Zerg player decides to get that expansion right in front of the main base, it's really vulnerable to all the drops that the Terran players might go for.
That's true. Also, something else I just realized that may not be so obvious from the get-go, but taking your natural a little bit farther outside your main base, that's going to allow your creep spread to start a lot faster and get across the map a lot quicker, and it's going to be easier to defend that pocket natural over this third base once you already have it online. And now the Queen, it looks like the Zerglings trying to get a good surround on some of these Hellions. They do manage to nab one of them, but not all of them.
But here we go. We have the Roach one coming out by hyvaa. And this is a little funky because Roaches, we don't see it as much, but it's fantastic against the Widowmine-based army from BrAvO.
That's true, and we are seeing a very heavy Marine unit composition from BrAvO here. Oh, the Widowmines, they're out of position. The Zerglings are going to be able to surround them. That's going to be a humongous victory for hyvaa here, and STX Soulman, they're looking so solid right now.
That is every single Zerg player's dream, man. Taking out those Widowmines before they burrow for free, and with going for the Roaches, look at this. BrAvO, he has the bio composition. He doesn't have any siege tanks. He doesn't have any Widowmines. He might actually die to this timing from hyvaa. All hyvaa wanted to do is apply some pressure while going into mutilating Baneling, but he might be able to finish the game right now.
Yeah, that's very true. We're going to have to see what hyvaa's plans are here. He's still macroing up pretty heavily here. He's getting, the 1-1 is almost complete for his ground units. He's getting a macro hatchery and a Baneling nest as well. But now these drops, they're moving into the natural of hyvaa here, and he actually has no defense at this point. The Spine and Spore Crawlers aren't completed now, and it looks like 2 of them, 3 of them are killed off. They're not even canceled. And the third base hatchery is under attack here, and it looks like it is going to go down. hyvaa, where are his units, man?
Seems like he was going to make Zerglings after he took out the Widowmine, saying, well, I took a nice advantage, so I don't even need to go for the pressure with the Roaches.
And it looks like the early advantage that hyvaa secured in the game completely negated at this point. And BrAvO now definitely having a solid lead, killing off a lot of those creep tumors. That's really, really solid from him. He's got to be very happy about that. And grabbing that third base behind this as well. Getting the combat shields, +1 armor. And now we do see the Spire Tech on the way for hyvaa, realizing that, hey, the Roach idea maybe not the best right now.
Yeah, if he went for the Roach, he should have committed instead of, just going around them and going like, what do I do at this point after seeing those double medevacs?
And a nice constant drop. I think actually we did see, yeah, look at that, abusing that little area between the low and high ground. They're putting 3 Marines there. That's got to really, if you have the Roaches or the Mutas out, that would be fine, but I just feel like BrAvO can completely abuse this position at this point in the game. And I'm not sure if he decided to do that in practice or if he just saw an opportunity here. And oh my gosh, he's going to actually kill the rocks there. That third has effectively been cut off from the natural and main. And oh wow, I have to say that BrAvO is playing phenomenally smart at this point.
Yeah, and all BrAvO needs to do is attack into the main base with these units, but the main problem is once he decides to move out with his main army to the third, to the natural, he could actually wipe it out easily. hyvaa needs to start taking down the rocks as soon as possible.
Yeah, he needs to attack them, get rid of them, because right now his bases are completely separated right now. This is just looking like such a hard position for hyvaa to be in. He's trying to do some type of link counterattack, but all of those lings are going to die essentially for free here. And I don't know what hyvaa can really do at this point, man. I mean, how do you respond to this? I'm sure. I can almost guarantee you that hyvaa has not faced this kind of thing in practice before.
Using the dirt base was really crucial. Now he's on 2 base economy. He doesn't have up to 6 gases, so even if he wants to make mutas, look at this, he only has 78 gas for himself, so now he's going to try to make Zerglings as much as possible, but Zerglings against the Widowmine Marines, not the best answer.
You're going to need more of those Banelings. You're going to need the mutas out eventually as well. Centrifugal hooks only just starting right now, and hyvaa has managed to destroy the rocks between the main and natural. Also retaking his third base, but he is so far behind BrAvO right now. 94 supplied to 145.
We can't even ignore the supply count right now because remember, he hasn't been mining the gas.
Yeah.
Which is something that the Zerg player always needs at this point in the game. They need the gas to get the mutas, to get the Banelings out, and slowly getting out the Widow Mines. This is nice play by Hyba, but I don't know how he can defend against this army from BrAvO unless BrAvO doesn't actually split.
All right, now BrAvO, is he going to commit to this attack? It looks like he wants to do a drop at that pocket base once again, and now the Banelings trying to connect here. Lift off from BrAvO. He's going to send his units into the natural. Once again here, that hatchery is going to be forced to get canceled. And at this point, if the Zerg can't take that base, what do you do? What do you do against that?
I have a feeling it might have been better for him to take the top expansion and the right expansion, the little pocket expansion, than this area where Terrence can abuse the medevacs a lot throughout the whole game.
Hyba trying to retake the space, but I mean, he still has to deal with these medevacs, and more boosting from BrAvO here, just really abusing that ability to his fullest here, and not the best engagement there from BrAvO, but these units do get cleaned up from both sides, and it looks like we're going to have the 2-2 from the Terran player complete somewhat soon here, and now Hyba going in for a nice round. The engagement is solid for him, but BrAvO decides to say, hey, I'm just going to get out of there, boost up to that natural once again, and does manage to save some of this army here. But Hyba, he's starting to slowly climb back up in supply here. But will he get that natural base? It looks like BrAvO will be forced back for now.
Even if BrAvO is forced back, however, he took his third base without his opponent Hyba brushing against him. He's getting a 4th command center for himself. Plus 3 armor is already out on the way, and he's almost maxed out once again, even after losing a lot of Marines in that engagement. Like, Hyba, he needs to win an engagement 2 or 3 times in a row without losing any mutas.
Yeah, he's gonna probably need an extra expansion or 2 at this rate as well against this constant aggression from BrAvO, and a few Widow Mines getting blown up there by those Banelings. Drop getting deflected as well from the mutas and the Zerglings, so Hyba getting a small victory here. But the problem is at that base, there's a lot of units, there's a lot of fire from both sides. Hyba doing the best he can to defend against this, but the Widow Mines doing their job. The Marauders tanking a lot of the Baneling shots as well, and now Hyba, his defenses, they are starting to crumble here. One Evolution Chamber goes down. The units moving in here. Mana Mule getting dropped. BrAvO telling Hyba, it's over. Get out of this game right now. You have no place here on my turf, Korhal Floating Island.
Hyba just dumbstruck right now because he was like, well, I was in such a fantastic position after taking out the Widow Mine, but not going for the Baneling Nest soon enough, not establishing a third base and putting his Zerglings over there. That cost him the game, and now he's thinking, why did I go for the roaches? Why did I make a roach run for myself?
That was a little bit weird for him. He didn't commit to the roach pressure, but
he should have committed. It's like a move where if you make the roach run, you have to go for it. If not, then you're just wasting minerals. Your tech is going to be late, and the Terran players can use the medevacs to the full potential.
Yeah, I mean, BrAvO is showing here, like, abusing medevacs 101. This is essentially what this game has become here, because he's essentially waiting for the cooldown for the medevac to finish up, doing a little bit of damage, moving in here, and then boosting out and attacking from their position or getting out of there with minimal losses. More Mana Mules falling down. Hyba really does not want to leave this game, but that's going to be it. GG. Hyba leaves, and BrAvO showing some very, very good play there. Overall, quite solid. And, you know, Hyba, he played pretty solid as well, but unfortunately, losing that third base did cause him to play from behind for essentially the rest of the game, and it snowballed for him.
Yeah, I mean, Hyba, he did a nice job taking